Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Hartford Whalers expansion franchise here on NHL 24. In the last episode, we conducted our full year one offseason, which saw us start out by winning the NHL draft lottery, where we were able to pick the top player in the class in Sami Maki. Maki's going to open the preseason on our top defensive pairing with Tyson Barrie, and other additions we made were, of course, Mark Scheifele, Tom Wilson. We brought in Sean Walker to improve our defensive unit. We were able to retain Tyson Barrie, Victor Arvidsson, Patrick Kane, and then we also traded for Jacob Markstrom to shore up our goaltending. So this episode, we're going to focus on the preseason and check out some of these position battles and get into some of our new players as well. So we open up against Philly here in our first preseason game, as we will every year as the preseason schedules never change here in NHL. And we'll just start it off from the opening faceoff here. We have Leo Carlsson, our second-year star, who we expect a big growth from this year, up against Couturier. And there's Sami Maki. First time we see him here. And Leo Carlsson takes it in for the Whalers. He's tied up there in the corner against Sean Couturier. He's going to take it the other way for Philly. He gives it for Travis Konechny. Tyson Barrie. Now Arvidsson takes it into the zone for Hartford. And he can't really get a shot off there. It's now Travis Sanheim for Philly with it. Joel Farabee. He had 2 goals against us last year in our preseason debut. And it's taken there by Will Coyle, who's hit hard by Sean Couturier there in the neutral zone. Will Coyle, one of the best players there for us last year. Poughkeepsie, as you see Sami Maki back with it and gets a pass off. Will Coyle trying to earn a spot here on this roster after a really good run there with the Panthers last season, as Arvidsson takes it in the neutral zone. It's poked away, picked up by Justin Braun. Now Konechny with it, up to Couturier. Couturier, a quick shot there, pad save from Scott Wedgwood getting the first start here. Farabee in front, nice pick off there from Maki, as Konechny ends up back with it and he'll score. Travis Konechny just terrorizes us. And he's on the board here for Philly. Then we'll jump ahead into action about halfway through the first period here. Ryan Ellis up to Kiefer Bellows. Bellows will take it right in front. He'll score. So the Flyers take an early 2-0 lead here, as Wedgwood not looking too sharp to start this preseason debut. Then just soon on the opposing faceoff, or I'm sorry, the ensuing faceoff, McMichael dances in front. He works his way in and scores. A very impressive goal there from Connor McMichael. He's someone who only had 2 goals last year in about 60 games, or 40, 50 games or so. And that was a very nice way to work his way in. Beat Ryan Ellis, who's finally on the ice there for the Flyers. Never thought I'd see that. And now the Whalers just down 2-1 after that. Very impressive goal for McMichael. Now later in the period, Stanley retrieves a puck in front and takes it the other way. Gives to Mackenzie Entwistle. He's overtaken there by Belpedio. And Entwistle with a huge hit there on Sale. Now we'll fast forward a face-off there from Leo Carlsson. Palat overtakes it. Marcus Foligno giving chase. Now Nick Paul, acquired last year at the deadline for Philly, takes it in. He'll pass up to Mantha, newly signed here in Philly. Mantha behind the net with it. Gives in front for Braun. Paul with a quick shot there. And it's saved by Wedgwood. Now in the ensuing face-off, to end this period with just 1 minute left, Leo Carlsson wins another draw as Hartford goes up 6-1 on the draws. Sami Maki gives there to Tyson Barrie. Nick Paul with a shot in front. Maki, he'll give up to Arvidsson. Now less than 10 seconds left here in the period as Arvidsson loses possession. Braun to Sanheim to Paul, and that'll do it here in the first, as Paul does get a late shot off there and the Flyers go up 2-1 after 1. Now here early on in the second period, Couturier rips a shot paddled away there by Wedgwood. Justin Braun will give back to Sanheim. Now Couturier, his shot blocked. What a block there. Now we fast forward now a few moments later. Carlsson hit hard there by Justin Braun. Farabee with it in transition for Philly. Overtaken there by Carlsson. Nice defensive play there. Good defensive play there by Walker, who took it up. And now we'll fast forward to another instance. Walker with a nice play there to Confer. And then Evans, he's stoned there. He had a nice feed. Jake Evans had a nice feed there from Confer, but he couldn't quite finish to tie it up. Now, a few moments later, Sebastian Aho works in for Hartford. He'll get a shot off. There, a good pad save by Ayerson. And then Philip Zadina with a hard hit there as Lawton can't get a shot off, really, as Ayerson will freeze. Philip Zadina with a hard hit there on that shift. Moving ahead now. About 4 minutes left here in the second period. Maki will give to Foligno off a Barry feed, and Foligno takes it up, leading the charge. He gives over to McMichael. McMichael trying to tie it up. Centering pass there for Foligno. And Foligno had some steam into the slot, but stoned there by Ayerson. Now less than 2 minutes left in the period. Zane Wisdom takes it in for Philly. A shot in front, and Wedgwood flashes the leather to preserve this 1-goal lead. He gave up those 2 early, but he was pretty sharp after that. Now early on in the third period. Couturier, loose puck. Now Will Coyle. Coyle turns up ice with it. And he's checked there into his own bench by Joel Farabee. Will Coyle not having a good time here in his first NHL action. Now moving ahead as Philly's on a power play here. Nick Paul with it for Philly. In front pass there, glove save by Wedgwood. And the penalty kill does do the job there, as Philly would not score on that power play. Now, more than halfway through the period, Confer will dump it in. Retrieved there by Beaulieu. Mangiapane. His pass in front for Jake Evans. And Evans tried to tie it up, and Ayerson stays strong there to preserve the lead for Philly. Now on the face-off, Jake Evans and Paul. Paul has had a very strong game here for the Flyers. Evans does win this one. Back to Maki. And Maki gets a soft shot off there. His first shot registered in this game. Easy save there from Ayerson. And we'll just keep watching here as Maki is still out there on the ice. Evans pushed off the draw there. Palat will take it up for Philly. His pass there to Paul. Nice feed over the middle to Emile Andre. And he out-leveraged Maki there. Maki took a poor angle. And Flyers were able to get a nice shot off as Maki battling in front of the net. Confer ends up with it. Mangiapane works his way in. His shot. Easy pad save there from Ayerson. Evans now to the point for Maki. Maki gives to Barry. Back to Confer. Now Maki with it again. He gets a nice rip off, and it's saved there by Ayerson. So Maki a couple chances here in this third period. That one much better than his first attempt. As Deloria now takes it in for Philly. Kiefer Bella's in the slot, and that was blocked. Skipping ahead here now, we'll just watch these last couple minutes play out as Couturier gets a rip in front. Farabee stone there on the rebound. Less than a minute left here for Hartford to tie it up as Zadina was closed off there, but he'll get the dump in. Lone Patrick there on the forecheck trying to steal the puck as Sanheim now takes it up. Wedgwood still skating towards the bench even though Sanheim's skating towards him. You got to get back in net there, Scotty. No harm, no foul as Hartford takes it up here with another couple chances maybe left as Barry's blocked shot in front. Arvidsson gets it off, and he's stoned in front off a feed from Barry. And now Palat to Paul, and he just misses the net. But Hartford will not have enough time as the Hartford Whalers are going to drop their preseason opener here in year 2. Now, following that 2-1 loss against the Philadelphia Flyers to open the preseason, we're now going to sim this game against the Capitals. And we actually have Daniil Tarasov in net for this one, as some of you will remember him from last season as he got a late call-up. He'll give up 1 goal there in the first, and then Arvidsson ties it up in the second. And then 2-2 there's Mangiapane gets one, and then we give up a late one to Nick Backstrom with 1.5 minutes. So we will have overtime. No one scores in overtime. 39 shots here for Hartford. And we will win in the shootout as Mangiapane, the lone shootout scorer. Mangiapane, second star. Arvidsson, the third star. Let's look at stats. Sami Maki had an assist and 4 shots. So that's pretty good, pretty nice. I'll take that. And then one with multiple points. 5 hits for Walker, 4 for Lawton. Lawton 11 out of 15 on the faceoff circle. That's very, very good. Evans good as well at 57.1%. And Tarasov, not too bad. 19 saves on 21 shots. So for that game, we did roll with the same lineup, although we just rotated the lines a little bit. We moved our first line in game 1 down to the 4th line. We moved the 3rd line to the 2nd line just to get everyone some equal playing time. So we are going to switch it around here against Carolina. Now we have adjusted the lines a little bit for this game, and we have Tyler Tucker now in the lineup. He's fighting for a roster spot here in year 2. We'll sit in that first period, and we scored 3 times with Cody Ceci, 2 goals, a minute 47 apart, and then Patrick scores just about 30 seconds after Ceci there. So a good first period here in the preseason as Leo Carlson adds a power play goal, and newly signed Jonathan Drouin there for Carolina scores as well. And nothing there in the 3rd period as Hartford wins 4-1 here. Let's take a look at some stats. Cody Ceci with 2 goals, Carlson 2 points. Sami Maki with a +1 on 4 shots, 1 hit. I'll pull up his card real quick. I know it actually doesn't even let me do that from that menu. I just want to show you Sami Maki's card real quick as we'll just sim up to this Islanders game. Because Maki, I keep saying it both ways, Sami Maki. There we go. You see, he opens as a 73 overall, which is quite worrisome. I was kind of banking on him being like a 78, but that is only half discovered. So as we play along here throughout the preseason, his actual overall rating will be unveiled. And once that happens, I will share it with you, of course. Now we'll jump into another game here as Hartford's taking on the reigning Metro champion New York Islanders. As here we see Sami Maki. He gets a shot in front there, glove saved by reigning Vezina Trophy winner Ilya Sorokin. Maki still without a goal here in the preseason. Now Hartford on a power play here in the first period. One there by Lawton to Mangiapane. Back to Walker. His shot saved there off the pad of Sorokin. Sean Walker, one of his first games here as a Hartford Whaler. Now Lawton over to Mangiapane. And that was a nice save there by Sorokin. I'm sorry, that was JT Comfort, not Mangiapane. Good pressure there on that Hartford power play as they remain on the ice here with 1:37 left on the power play. Leo Carlson now out there. He's had a very good preseason so far. A rip there. That was Mangiapane. Saved there by Sorokin. Carlson now with it. He'll give to Mangiapane. Nolan Patrick back to Mangiapane. And it's overtaken there by Holmstrom, who tries to get the clear, but Mangiapane recovers as he skates it into Hartford territory. Now Philip Zadina with it, takes it up ice. Loose puck there, picked up by Carlson. On the side of the net in front there, Stastny with it. And a shot there, saved by Sorokin. More pressure there, and Hartford couldn't get a close there. Now we skip ahead in the action. Entwistle picks it up there in the neutral zone, takes it ahead for Hartford. Mackenzie Entwistle, loose puck in front. And there's Sami Maki picking it up, but he's denied there again by Ilya Sorokin. Maki with his second shot here early on. Now skipping ahead. Here's Maggio here for the Islanders taking it in. Maggio give there. And what a save. Or was that blocked in front? Rebound. Save there by Arthur Silovs, getting his first action here as a Hartford Whaler. Maggio in the slot, and he's going to score. Right in front there for Maggio, and he buries it on Silovs. Now later on in the period, battling there along the boards, and what a hit. That was Tyler Tucker there with a big hit along the boards. He had a very strong showing here. Now in the second period, McMichael a face-off win back to Maki. Maki gives up to Nolan Patrick. Now Zadina with it. Zadina's going to work his way in. Shot in front blocked. He retrieves it in the corner. Now works his way back in front. He's going to score. Philip Zadina gets his first goal here in the preseason, looking to build on a career year last year. Now about halfway through the period as Islanders dump it in. Johnston there with it, pass in front, blocked away. Now Hutton with it for the Islanders. Loose puck there to the point. Now Cousins in front. Nick Cousins, former Whaler, denied there. Now a pass there for Holmstrom. He's denied by Seelovs. Still in here for the Islanders. Holmstrom gets another shot, and Seelovs slams the door. So a good series there from Arthur Seelovs. He's obviously set to open in the AHL this season. Now later on in the period, 4 minutes left. Comfort wins the draw there for Hartford. And I'm sorry, that was Foligno on the draw. And he'll take it. Loses possession there in the offensive zone. Reestablishes possession. A centering pass there for Coyle. And Will Coyle gets a nice shot, but he's blocked there by Sorokin. And then a shot from the point saves Sorokin there from Cody Ceci. Now we'll skip ahead. Matt Barzal a shot there early on in the third period wide. Sami Maki will give up to Connor McMichael. He scored it in the first game here in the preseason. He's fended off there by Chalowski. Dobson then McMichael's able to re-establish possession and pass back there to Zadina, which is gloved by Sorokin. Sorokin very sharp here, coming off a tremendous season. Now a little bit later in the period, Leo Carlson takes it in for the Whalers. He'll give there in the slot for Lawton. Blocker save there, Sorokin. Lawton retrieves. Pass behind the net for Carlson. Carlson in front for Arvidsson. Back to the point for Tucker. Now Sean Walker gets a rip off wide. Leo Carlson back with it. Victor Arvidsson now. And for Carlson, his one-time attempt just wide. Hartford, a lot of pressure here. Walker back with it at the point. He lets a rip off, and it's saved away by Sorokin. And then it'll go for an offside as Hartford, some good strings of pressure here in this game against Sorokin. Later on in the period, Mangiapane takes it in for Hartford. Centering pass there for Evans. And rebound to JT Compher, and he scores as Hartford takes a 2-1 lead. Sorokin just couldn't keep it going. His phenomenal play here. Now less than about 4 minutes left here as the Islanders have a late power play as they try to even it up. Now in center ice, Samuel Bolduc, former Islander, gives to Patrick. Now Entwistle enters the zone. Loose puck picked up by former Whaler Nick Cousins now to Holmstrom. Holmstrom patient. And then he's hit hard there by Samuel Bolduc. Bolduc figures to open in the AHL. But that was a huge hit there against his former team. Now Dobson later on in the period as the Islanders there with one last shot. And it's gloved there by Arthur Seelovs. And the Whalers are going to take this one 2-1 as Seelovs stops 15 out of 16 shots. And the Whalers advance to 3-1 here in the preseason. We're now halfway through the preseason, and for this game against Pittsburgh, we'll throw Scott Wedgwood back out there. And we'll keep the same lines from the last game. 2-2 there after the first. Crosby with one there, and then Connor McMichael, his second of the preseason, and Scott Lawton as well. Arvidsson scores there in the second to put us up 3-2. Tied up after the third with a goal there from Rust. So we'll send this overtime. No goals in overtime, so we'll get another shootout here. And Pittsburgh takes this one in a shootout as Chris Letang beats Scott Wedgwood. So that'll bring us to 3-1-1 here in the preseason with 3 games left. We're going to sim this game against Columbus, and then we'll have our last little live look in at the Rangers game. And now we'll sim our 6th game here in the preseason against Columbus with Daniil Tarasov getting his last action here in the preseason as he'll be sent down to the Poughkeepsie Panthers. 2-2 there after one as Tom Wilson scores. He's inserted into the lineup for the first time here in the preseason, scoring less than 7 minutes into his Hartford Whalers debut. And another goal here for McMichael, his 3rd goal, already exceeding his last season's total in 50 games. He only had 2 in 50 games, already 3 here in 6 preseason games. But then we let up 4. There's Patrick Laine, of course. Who else scores against us, followed by 3 more goals here as Tarasov does not have a good time. And then we do add 1 more there in the third with a Philip Zadina goal. I think his 2nd here in the preseason. So now just 2 games left, and now we're going to actually insert Jacob Markstrom in here for his Whalers debut against the Rangers. Now we're set here in Hartford for this preseason affair between the New York Rangers and the Hartford Whalers. As you see Mark Scheifele there, our first time seeing him here. A big hit by Sami Maki right out of the gate. Maki will give back to Filip Zadina. Zadina works it up. Pass across over. And that was Scheifele with a quick chance here out of the gate. And he's stoned there by the Rangers goaltender. Now we fast forward here towards the middle of the first period. Andrew Mangiapane with it. Skates it out. Centering pass there. Save and rebound. JT Compher will put that one home. Compher with his second goal here in the preseason, both coming on rebounds. Now later on, here's Mark Scheifele. He gives to Logan Stanley, former Winnipeg Jets teammates. Stanley up to Orlov, over to Scheifele. Scheifele's going to take it up for a rush. Mark Scheifele looks pretty good in green here. He's going to pass behind the net for Nolan Patrick. Patrick to Stanley. Now Zadina with it. Zadina a rip off. And a glove save there by Skarek for the Rangers. Now just over 8 minutes in this first period. Sherwood with a chance there. Pad save, Jacob Markstrom. Now in front for the Rangers off the post. And Markstrom just avoids giving up an early goal here. Nice save there on an initial shot from the Rangers. Now later on in the period, 5.5 minutes left. Less than that. Harper peels up. He'll give. Now Cheadle with it. Chris Kreider poked away. Still with possession. Tries to dangle away from Tyson Barrie. Barrie recovers. Now Leo Carlsson goes up ice with it. Still with possession, working his way into the zone. Pass behind the net there for Connor McMichael. McMichael with pass there for Orlov. And Orlov's rip is saved there by the Rangers goalie Skarek. Dmitry Orlov back in the lineup. His second game of the preseason. Now Lindgren later on. This is in the early second period. He'll dump it in. There's Sami Maki to retrieve. He'll skate up ice. Sami Maki taking it up. Gives over to Scheifele. Scheifele up to Zadina. Zadina back over. And Nolan Patrick can't receive the pass now. Lafreniere gets laid out there by Sami Maki. A big hit there by Maki against the boards as the Rangers take it back the other way. Maki picks up the rebound and will give to Nolan Patrick. And that was Maki on Lafreniere, two number one overall picks. As now Zibanejad's going to take it in. And he's closed off and pickpocketed there by Sami Maki. So Maki making his presence known here as he's closed off there by Lindgren against the boards. Now Zadina works his way in front. Shot in front of the net goes wide. Nolan Patrick with it back to Zadina, who gets a weak shot off, and it's going to be saved there by Skarek. Good shift there from Sami Maki. Some good defensive plays. And now we fast forward more than halfway through the second period. Cody Ceci gives up to Entwistle. Mackenzie Entwistle centering pass for Evans over to Foligno, and he's robbed. Foligno has been very good here in this preseason, kind of picking up his play. Now Evans within the neutral zone. He's fended off there. Sherwood picks it up. Passes across ice. That's going to be Susi. His shot. What a great rebound save there from Markstrom. The initial pad save, then he got across the crease to save what looked like to be an easy rebound opportunity for the Rangers. Now we'll pick up on a face-off here. 5:31 left in the second period. Scheifele out there. Loses the draw. And a great block there from Nolan Patrick, really giving up the body. He was up and down here in this preseason. We gave him a lot of chances to kind of squeeze out his potential, but he didn't really live up to what I was hoping for. So I'm not sure if he's going to be starting in game one here in year two. And then we'll fast forward here towards the end of the second period. Stanley, he turns it over in his own zone. Still trying to fight for it. And Trocheck steals it and works towards the net and scores on a nice double deke. Pesky play there from Trocheck. And the Rangers tie this one up. Now we fast forward to the third period. Chris Kreider, centering passer for Colton White. And Markstrom had no leverage there not on that angle. And he'll give up the go-ahead goal here to the Rangers, Colin White. So 2 goals now allowed by Markstrom as we'll fast forward here. Nolan Patrick, he had a chance in front, saved. Foligno still with it, giving chase on a loose puck. Back to the point for Tucker, over to Ceci. Foligno in front for Patrick. Patrick gets a rip-off, and that's a glove save by Skarek. Well, I'm not really sure who that is, but he's been pretty good. Now taking it over here. 8:45 left on a face-off in the third period. Hartford in their zone, or in the Ranger zone. Maki with a shot from the point. He actually breaks the glass. So Sami Maki breaks the glass before he scores a goal here in this preseason. Now fast forward our first look here at Tom Wilson. Loose puck back to Sami Maki in front for Connor McMichael. Back to Wilson, a save. Good chance there from Hartford. Now just a minute and a half left in this game. We'll just let it play out and see what happens. Schneider ripping front pad save from Markstrom. Zibanejad back to Trocheck behind the net. He'll give along the boards. Now back to Trocheck. Schneider, slot shot. Patted away there by Markstrom. Logan Stanley now with it. 23 seconds left for Hartford to do something. He gives up to Mangiapane. They pull the goalie. Orlov a chance in front. Pad save from Skarek. Now Stanley at the point over to Comfer. And he loses possession to Trocheck, who gets to Lafreniere going the other way. A shot. Just misses the empty net. Now 5 seconds left here for Hartford. Mangiapane will give to Comfer. He gets a rip-off and it just hits the post. Wow, and that's going to end it here as Hartford falls 2-1. Comfer with a great chance there at the end. So to close this preseason, we'll simulate this last game here against the Devils, and we'll throw Scott Wedgwood out there for this last game as he's not going to play again for a while, as Markstrom should start at least the first 4 games or so in the regular season. So nothing there after the first period. And then Mercer scores there in the second for the Devils. And then nothing in the third. So we drop our final preseason game 1-0 as we're shut out there by James Reimer. And Wedgwood stops 29 out of 30. Wedgwood a very, very strong preseason here. Now we'll just gloss over some stats here. I kind of have an idea already of what the roster is going to be, but we'll just check out who kind of showed out here. Is Philip Zadina, our points leader here with 6 in the preseason. Arvidsson and Carlson with 5 each. McMichael had a strong showing, 4 points. Mangiapane and Patrick also with 4 points. And just a handful of multi-goal scorers here. Arvidsson, Comfer, Zadina, and Ceci with 2. McMichael with 1. And Zadina and Carlson both tied in assists with 4. Plus minus Arvidsson plus 5. And a Carlson at a plus 3. Pretty good showings from them there. And then a minus 3 from Sami Maki, Foligno, Evans, and Comfer. We had 1 power play goal just from Leo Carlson. About face-offs. Evans 55.8. Lawton regret. He's usually very good. Last year he was like 58%. Now just less than 51 here in this preseason. 16 hits though. We always expect that from him. 12 block shots. Sami Maki leads the way. You like to see that. And then no fights. I'm surprised Foligno didn't fight anybody. Now we'll go to goaltenders. Obviously, Markstrom only had that 1 game where he let up 2 goals on 18 shots. But Wedgwood, 1-3-1. But look at the numbers. 941 save percentage and 174 goals against. So talk about just not getting any run support, any goal support here for Wedgwood. But he cemented himself as the backup goalie here with another good showing. And he closed out last season very good as well. So then we'll just go to close this episode. We'll just go to lines. And I'll just give you, these aren't going to be the lines we roll with on opening day. But these are pretty much all the players. We're going to, I think, swap out. We're going to have to throw Comfer back in there. So we'll probably swap out Comfer and Nolan Patrick, as Nolan Patrick's going to open the season as a healthy scratch. And then on defense, Sami Maki, Tyson Barrie, Sean Walker, Dmitry Orlov, and Tyler Tucker. I honestly was planning on sending Tyler Tucker down, but he was just really, really good here in the preseason. So I think he's actually going to start over Logan Stanley in game 1. Stanley started most of the season last year for us. He had 77 games for us last year. But I'm going to just roll with Tucker. I think he provides a little more stability there on our third defensive pairing. And we're going to have to throw CC back out there as well. So I don't know if Tucker's actually... I don't know. I'm going to have to think about defense a little bit. But other than that, I think we kind of have a clear picture of what this team is going to look like. And then let me just show you a couple guys who were kind of fighting for roster spots that we had to end up sending down. And first, we'll start with Will Coyle. He played 6 games there in the preseason, no points at a -4. 79 overall, fully scouted, so that's pretty good. It's at 22 years old, so he's not too far away. He might crack the roster again at some point. And then Mackenzie Entwistle, he spent 19 games with us last season, registering 6 points, 4 goals. He didn't really do much in the preseason there, just 1 assist in 7 games at a -4. So he's with the talent improvement we've kind of went over this offseason, he really doesn't have a spot right now. So we'll just send him down and see if he can kind of improve there. Samuel Bolduc was pretty good, although he posted a -5 in 6 games. He's just not quite there, although I do see him being the more talented option compared to a Logan Stanley or Tyler Tucker. So Bolduc might be more of a long-term option than Tucker and Stanley, but right now he just doesn't quite crack the lineup. So we did it here, folks. We did the preseason. We got to look at Sami Maki a little bit, our first overall pick. We saw Tom Wilson a little bit. We saw Mark Scheifele a little bit, Sean Walker. So next episode, we're jumping right into it. And I'll just scroll down the list here and look at this. Jerky Continent. Franchise potential. That's what I was talking about. If he was in last class where we won the draft lottery, it would have been much more of a prize. So it looks like whoever wins the draft lottery here is getting a really good prospect. So I'll just scroll down the list here as I close this episode. So obviously we did the preseason here, and next episode we're going to open up year 2 opening game against the Winnipeg Jets. As we open year 1 against Winnipeg, we will open up year 2 as well against Winnipeg as Mark Scheifele faces his former squad. So I appreciate all the support now. We had a great offseason, pretty good preseason, and now we're hitting year 2 full steam ahead. And I really appreciate all the support and for you sticking around with this series. So as always, folks, it's been real, and be well, and I'll see you next time.